Hi, I'm Arun, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the Levites Community. We're here to help you grow in worship and deepen your understanding of who God truly is.
Hi, I'm Payal, and together we want to walk alongside you in your personal journey of worship, guiding you to experience God in a deeper and a more meaningful way.
Today we're going to explore a powerful story from 2 Samuel chapter 6 where David, Uzzah and Obed-Edom offer us profound insights into God's holiness. The story begins with David wanting to bring back the Ark of Covenant, which had been in Abinadab's house for 20 years.
That's right. David gathered over 30,000 men to celebrate with everything they had, praising God, playing instruments, and lifting up his name. But unfortunately, things went awry. Let's take a closer look at what happened.
David's intentions were pure. He wanted to bring the ark to Jerusalem so that people from all over Israel would worship God. However, he made a critical mistake. He chose to use a cart to carry the ark instead of obeying God's clear commandment that the ark should be carried by the Levites on their shoulders, not pulled by an oxen. This was his first error.
And this is where the situation took a tragic turn. As the cart carrying the ark began to stumble, Uzzah reached out to steady it. But in that moment, boom, Uzzah was struck dead by God. His lifeless body fell beside the ark. It was such a shocking tragedy.
Absolutely. And while it's easy to feel sympathy for Uzzah, thinking he was just trying to help, the truth is that Numbers 4:15 clearly says that holy objects should only be handled by the Levites, no one else. Uzzah grew up with the ark and became too familiar with God's presence, which led to his disregarding the holiness of the ark.
And this is where the lesson comes in. This story teaches us a crucial truth. We cannot take God's presence for granted. He is holy, and we must approach His holiness with deepest respect.
Let's pause here for a moment. For those of us who grew up in Christian homes, we might unknowingly fall into the same trap. We might think, God's my friend, and He absolutely is. But let's not forget, before He's our friend, He is a holy, holy, holy God. We need to always keep this in mind. Now let's continue with the story. After Uzzah's death, David was filled with anger and fear. He wasn't sure what to do next, so he decided to send the ark to Obed-Edom's house. This is where the story gets really interesting.
Yes, you're right. Obed-Edom was a Gittite from Philistia. And what's amazing is that this foreigner welcomed the ark, an object that the Philistine leaders had sent away because they feared God's power. Obed-Edom, however, understood the significance of God's presence and welcomed it into his home.
And here's the remarkable part. The Bible tells us that God blessed Obed-Edom and his entire family. His sons even went on to serve as gatekeepers in God's house. This shows us the impact of honoring God's presence.
So true. The main takeaway is that Obed-Edom treated God's presence with great respect. And that invited God's blessings not just on him, but on his entire household for generations.
Right, and here's where we can draw a key comparison. Abinadab's house failed to show the proper reverence for God's presence, while Obed-Edom's house thrived because he honored God's holiness.
I think this is something we need to think about for our own homes. When we honor God's presence in our lives, it opens up a space of blessings to flow, not just for us, but for the generations that come after us.
Yeah, and let's not miss this powerful truth. Obed-Edom wasn't even an Israelite, yet he recognized who God is and dedicated his life to serving Him. This makes us reflect. When God's presence is in our lives, do we treat it casually or do we honor Him with the reverence He deserves?
That's the big question. And it's not about our background, it's all about our hearts. We see throughout the Bible that children from godly homes sometimes drift away, while those from difficult backgrounds grow strong in faith. I really hope this message speaks to you today. Let's make sure we don't take God's presence for granted, but that we treat Him with the reverence and awe He deserves.
Yes, and as Levites, there's an important takeaway for our lives, that our hearts matter more than our talents. True worship isn't about the music, the lights, or the fancy equipment in the church. It's about the song our heart sings when no one else is listening. So until next time, Levites, may your hearts be filled with a deep desire to worship and honor God in everything you do. Be blessed.